Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting year of rounding third base, 2019. Can you believe it's been 8 years since the start of this league? We started this league in 2012 and the entry fee was $25. And to start off, it was an interesting league to say the least. Not very good, but we'll get more into that later. First off, I want to start off by introducing some of the newer teams. First team is Easy Money Pooey. That is owned by Phil Heidel. He took over Scotty's I'm a Really Bad Fister team. We'll actually touch on Scotty a little bit at the end because he is no longer with us and it's very sad. And we needed that wild card in our group to kind of keep things exciting, but more into that later. The second team is Scotia Smitty, and that is owned by Carl Smith. He took over Sloppy Seconds team. And then the last new owner is the Chumpions, and that is owned by Peter Moore. Peter does not actually have a team, but we're going to do our best, and we're going to kind of create one for him so he can be competitive. Now, we'll start off by talking about some of the owners who are on the leagues, just so the new people can kind of get familiar with them. Let's see, who do we start with? Let's see, how about we start with Mike Mainville. That team is my boyfriend's the pitcher. So Mike Mainville is our current reigning champion. He is the one who has the trophy right now. And a little bit about Mike, he's a very active owner. He cares about the league. He's been in it since day one. So that's it. I mean, Mike's a great owner. You know, he cares about baseball. He cares about fantasy. Well, I don't think he cares about baseball. I think he hates baseball, but he cares about fantasy baseball. But that is Mike Mainville. Now, let's start off by somebody else. We'll talk about, let's see, who do we got here? We got Gaelic Storm. Gaelic Storm is another active owner. Very smart, very insightful, knows his minor league guys. As soon as we started doing the farm team, he really took off with it. He got guys like Acuna, Soto, and now he's got Vlad on his team. So his dynasty is definitely legit. So that is Gaelic Storm. The next one is John Reed. John Reed is another great active owner. The dude abides. He pretty much has what I consider the best team on paper right now. You know, he's got Cody Bellinger, Trey Turner. He has Aaron Judge, which he basically stole from me because I freaking dropped him like a dumbass. But anyway, so that little backstory there. Sorry. But he's got Judge on his team, and that's all I got to say about that. Yeah. Let's see, moving on. Let's see, now we got Carbo Stormtroopers. That's owned by Steve Karbowski. I like to consider his team the pitcher king because he has some of the most dominant pitchers that he took super, super late, and I don't even know how he did it. Like, he's got Corey Kluber on his team. Bumgardner, he got at a steal when he got him. Had him on his team forever. Can't even remember the last time he was a free agent or even out there to be drafted. But he's got James Paxton, who he drafted late. Not to mention some of the best closers on his team, Wade Davis, Jansen, and now Kirby Yates. Was Kirby Yates even good last? I don't even remember. Kirby Yates? He's their closer? I don't know. Well, I don't even know if that's going to last, but we'll see. Then the next team we have is the Rise of Squid, and that is owned by... Does he even have a name? I don't even know. I think it's John something. But anyway, the Rise of Squid. See, now, he got in the league a couple years back, and then when I got him in the league, I gave the name the Rise of Squid because I figured, you know, we needed to give him a name, Rise of Squid. You know, that'll work. Figured he would just change it. He never changed it. I don't know if it's because he likes the name or he just doesn't know how to change his name. I don't know. But anyway, so his team, he really rose up to that name that I gave him because his first year, he actually made it into third place. So he actually finished in the money with a terrible team because he was just actively participating every day. And everybody who knows Squid knows he's very active and very outspoken. And he just, you know, he knows he's been doing fantasy for, I don't know, probably longer than I've been alive. So, I mean, that's Squid. You all know him. Then the next team is Benintendi and the Jets, and that's played by Mike Fazzone. Mike Fazzone is a very insightful owner who definitely appreciates the intricacies of this league. He definitely has given us some good feedback as to some changes that we've made in the past, and hopefully some more changes in the future. And I like some of the stuff that he posted. So, Mike's been a great addition to this league, and his team has definitely risen to dynasty levels. Especially basically stole Benintendi from Mainville, which is where obviously Benintendi and the Jets, Benintendi. So let's try seeing if we can get him off his team, and then he's going to change his name, maybe. I mean, the dude still has Lucas. I don't even think he plays anymore. But anyway, then we got Field of Dreams. Field of Dreams is played by Jim Fazzone. That is actually Mike's father. So Jim Fazzone is one of the very few owners who will actually send emails out to the league constantly. And he just basically wants to talk about his feelings. He just wants to tell you, like, what's going on and how bad his team's doing and all the guys that are on the disabled list that he can't compete because this guy got hurt. I mean, God, we love you, Jim. We wouldn't have it any other way. So, God bless. So, basically, that's the owners that are in there now. So, we have the new owners. We have the previous owners. Hopefully, we can all become acquainted with each other. So now I'm going to start off by going some of the basic league rules, just for some of the new people, just kind of recap stuff, just really quick. We do have a trophy. We do have a ring. The trophy gets passed around from year to year. There's a plaque on it with your name. The ring is engraved, and it has your team name on it. It has your name on it. It has the year. The ring you keep forever. It's included in all the league dues, so every year the champion gets a ring to keep. So that's that with the trophy and ring. So starting off with the league history. So we started in 2012, and I think I remember my number one pick that year was Roy Halladay. Rest in peace, brother, Roy Halladay. But that was my number one pick. Now, I don't know if you know anything about baseball back in 2012, but Roy Halladay was a seven-time Cy Young Award candidate, with two-time Cy Young Award winner. When I drafted him as the number one pick overall back in 2012, he was on the tail end of his career. So going from a Cy Young Award candidate, I had him on my team with a 4.49 ERA, 11 wins, 8 losses, and 132 strikeouts. Yeah, number one pick. For some reason, they just never seem to pan out in fantasy baseball. Unless you get the number one pick, it's just pot luck. It really is. That's the one thing I've learned about fantasy baseball is, like, you just never know who you're going to get. And you can get talent in the late rounds, and I think that's what makes the sport of fantasy so great when it comes to this. And when we started doing it, it was, really no rules. You could pick up a pitcher every day. I think there was one point when I was starting like 10 pitchers a day just to do it because we didn't have any limitations. And then the next year, people came back and it was weird. I was like, why? But then slowly we started to just say, hey, we need to make a league that's unique, and we wanted to get some really cool rules in there, something that's a little different from the standard because, everybody goes by the standard rules of fantasy baseball, and we kind of wanted to do things a little bit differently, but still keep it fun and interesting at the same time. So, some years back, we started doing keepers, and we had to go through the growing pains of the keepers, and then, like, 2 or 3 years ago, we started the farm team, which has been a work in process, but I think that, we're slowly getting to the point where we want to be with it. So just hang in there, everybody, with the farm team thing. We're going to get it all straightened out, I promise. Then one of the things that we started doing was, well, how do we make it unique? And we don't have, without doing an auction type system, because, in auctions, you base all these guys on the value in the auction of what they're worth, but we don't have an auction. We draft by rounds. So, we came up with the idea of why not drafting people from the year before in the round that they were kept the year before, but kind of move up a little bit. And then this way that'll like set their value. So and that has been a working process on its own. And I think that with some of the ideas that we have out there now, it's going to be phenomenal as far as like how this is going to work, because I really see good things happening in this year and the years to come. So that's really part of the history. We just kind of wanted to have a really cool style dynasty setting, and that's it. And then another thing is, you're probably wondering, especially the new owners, is why do we draft on a different website? Like, why do we draft on Fantrax? It's ESPN. Why don't we draft on ESPN? Well, we tried doing that. We tried with the format of keeping guys in rounds. So the way we would have to do it is we'd have to do it on a spreadsheet. And on the spreadsheet, people didn't know who to keep or what, where. It was a mess. It was just a complete and total mess, because ESPN doesn't allow us to do that. And we want to keep everything online because we know people have busy lives and everything like that, and people draft in other leagues. We kind of want to keep the freedom of, keeping this the way it is. So luckily, Fantrax allows us to actually place specific players in specific rounds. So the guys on your team, you can actually put in the 14th, 15th, 25th, whatever. You can put those guys in those rounds, and then when it's your turn to draft and you have a player there, it just skips right over you. So that's kind of why we use Fantrax. Fantrax is great for that. Terrible for fantasy. The day-to-day is awful, but, drafting is great. If we can only find one league where everything together works out, I think that would be a godsend, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. There's really no leagues that can accommodate to all the things that, I think most leagues don't accommodate everything, and I don't understand why, but anyway. So the next thing I want to talk about is some of the new rules that we're going to have in place this year, and I appreciate everybody's feedback. We got some great feedback from everybody as far as the rules and everything that was going on. So now I'm going to start by going down the list, and I posted something on the message board, so you can all look at that as well. But we're going to talk about the advancing of rounds. This is something that definitely has to be done. We got to get players back in there. We want to keep players for a certain amount of time. We don't want to keep them forever. I've made it with 20 guys now instead of your whole team. So you keep 20 guys. 3 of those guys will be franchised, which, if you're not familiar with what the franchises, what that means is that they don't move at all. They stay in that round, which means that's your franchised guy. So everybody else moves up, but those franchise guys. So that's why I think it'll be important for us to advance the other players more, because next year you might want to franchise a different guy, and then the guy that you franchised the year before, he'll get to move up. And that'll kind of be the way that it'll work. But we'll definitely get more into the specifics on that. But I think the franchise is actually a great idea. And you can actually thank Mike Mainville for that one, because he's the one that came up with that idea. And I think it's a brilliant, brilliant idea, and I think it's going to work out really well. And you can send Mike a thank you, or you can send him some hate mail, whatever. But he's the one that takes the credit for that one. So thank you, Mike, for that insight. That was a great idea. And let's see, we're going to put the DH guy back on. See, most of you do want the DH, so that's fine. The DH guys are back. The All-Star trading grid is gone. I got rid of it. I can't remember a time that I got shut down that fast since I went on Tinder, but whatever. It's all good. I could take the criticism. I tried to do something where I didn't want the bottom teams to trade all their good guys away to the top teams for nothing, and but we'll figure another way out to regulate things. But the trading grid is gone. So this year we're going to do, and I have it all set up on the spreadsheet, so you don't have to do anything. So it's going to be 2 rounds for players 11 through 30, and then 1 round for players 1 through 10. So that's how it's set up on the spreadsheet now. So you don't have to do anything. You just got to look at the spreadsheet. Wherever they were drafted the year before, I've already moved them up. That's where you can keep the guys, or sooner. Okay? So that's that. And let's see. We have a draft order where that's going to be, we're going to do it random this year. So I actually have in my hand here, excuse me, we have the, right here. We're going to pick the guys out, and we're going to do the major league, and then we're going to do the minor league draft. So that's going to be draft order. And then the last thing I want to touch upon is, before we go into draft orders, I just want to talk a little bit about Scotty, because I'm going to miss Scotty. I really am. You know, Scotty, he played his own fantasy league. You know, he thought that, like, closers were, like, the only category. I think one time he had, like, 15 closers on his team because he wanted to dominate saves. But that's Scotty, you know, that was why we loved him, you know. And he would call me at, like, 3 in the morning and want to make a trade with me when he was drunk, and he wouldn't leave me alone. And I was just like, Scotty, I got to go to bed. And he's just like, come on, I make a trade. He's like, I got to make a trade. He's like, I want your #1 pick. I want your best guy, and I'll give you this guy I just picked up off free agency yesterday. You know, that's Scotty, you know, but he's gone. And we're going to miss him. We love you, Scotty. Rest in peace, buddy. Rest in peace. See you in fantasy heaven. All right, buddy? So now, on to what everybody's been waiting for. We're officially going to do the Major League Draft order. So here we go. I'm going to take the thing off. I've already shaken it up. #1 pick, Major League Draft order, not the minor. This is the Major League Draft order. #1 pick, Scotia Smitty, #1 pick. #2, The Rise of Squid, #2. #3, Carbo's Stormtroopers, #3. #4, this is #4. The Big Lat Machine in at #4. Now on to #5. This is #5. The Duda Abides, #5. #6. My Boyfriend's the Pitcher, #6. #7. Let's see what we got here. Benintendi and the Jets, #7. #8. Field of Dreams, #9. Easy Money Pooey, #9. #10, the Champions. And the last pick of the Major League Draft, Gallic Storm. Now, take those. We're going to throw them back in. All right, they're in. Take this. Make sure I don't kill myself with this thing. Shake it up. Shake it up. This is the minor league draft. You guys ready for this? Minor league draft. Now, as soon as I get all the farm guys on the team, which means some of you got to drop some of your guys. Squiddy. Anyway, drop some of your guys. I put the farm guys in. We can start the slow draft. And I'll explain how the slow draft works in a minute as soon as we get through this. So here we go. #1 for the minor league draft. Duda, John Reed, you got the #1 minor league pick. #2, Field of Dreams, you got #2, buddy. #3, Carbo Stormtroopers. #4, Gallic Storm in at #4. Gallic Storm, you know that fourth pick. That fourth pick is going to be a gem. #5, Scotia Smitty in at #5. Here we go. #6, My Boyfriend's the Pitcher. My Boyfriend's the Pitcher has #6. #7, me. I'm in at #7. I have no idea who to take. Honestly, no clue. #7. That's me. 7. #8. Benintendi and the Jets. Number 9. Number 9. Easy Money Pooey in at number 9. And number 10. Number 10 will be The Rise of Squid. And then the last pick we all know right here is the Champions. So there you go. There you have it. You have the minor league and the major league draft order. So I'm going to explain to you really quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. So the way the slow draft is going to work is, we did this last year and it turned out to be very successful because everybody did enjoy it, is as soon as I get all the farm guys on the roster, and I'm going to give you a time limit, because if you don't do it, then you're just going to lose them, and that's the end of story. You're just going to lose the guys because we got to get this thing moving. So drop your guys. Let me get the farm guys on your team, or if you don't want them, just tell me you don't want them, and I'll get rid of them for you. It doesn't matter. Just, we got to get this thing going. So we're going to do the draft order is going to be a slow draft. So I'm going to start the first round. And I'll probably give you a couple days for the first round, just to kind of get eased into it, just because people got to do their research and all this stuff or whatever. But once we hit the second round, you're going to get 24 hours. You have 24 hours to pick a player. And the way that's going to work is that we're going to post it on the message board, on the ESPN message board. And as soon as you pick a guy, then the next guy goes. So that's it. You just got to stay active. I'll probably send you a little notification. I'll just tell you you're up. I mean, it kind of worked good last year when we did that. I would just send you a message, and you'd send me a message back like, I picked this guy, and then we posted it, and it was just easy. Now, we're going to try to get through this, and we're going to do this as a slow draft, which is cool because, everybody can kind of take their time and pick who they want or whatever, but you do have a time limit on it. So, if you do skip, or if you do go past your 24 hours, you can still take a guy, but the next person can pick ahead of you. So that's it. Pretty straightforward. That's how it's going to work. We're going to kick this thing off really soon. We're going to do this right up until the freeze date. Once the freeze date is set, there's no more setting rosters, picking up this, doing that, or whatever. Frozen. Your team is frozen. Your minors are frozen. We'll pick up anything we left off at the end of the draft when the draft starts. In that meantime, while we're frozen, I'm going to take your team and I'm going to import it over to Fantrax, and I'm going to set everything up, and then we're going to be ready to draft. And the draft usually goes pretty smooth, and it's usually not that long either, because a lot of teams keep their guys, and we have a time limit on it, so that's pretty much it. So that's it. So very excited to have another really interesting and fun year at rounding third base, and I will see you guys online. Thank you very much. Have a great, great, great